Hello and welcome to another review. Now today I'm going to do another solo Beatles review and my first Ringo Starr review, and you probably guessed what album I'm going to do, or you might have read the title. It's going to be this one here, Ringo. This album here is considered his best album, and the only one really worth getting as a Beatles fan, although most people would say, well, if you're a true Beatles fan you'd have all this stuff, but for me I'm not too fussed about a solo career. This was the third release by Ringo Starr. After the breakup of the Beatles, he had Sentimental Journey and B Cups of Blues. I think that's how you say the last one before this. But those are both cover albums of other people's tracks, whereas this album here features mostly original compositions rather than other people's tracks. The album is notable because it is the first release after the Beatles career to feature all four Beatles on it, albeit on different tracks, and it also features a number of guest stars, something what would become standard for subsequent Ringo albums, and also his All-Star band shows and tours where you have sort of special guests accompanying him. On this album here you have Mark Bolan playing guitar from T-Rex, and then you have also have Klaus Voormann as well on bass. Old friend of the Beatles also plays at the concert for Bangladesh, and then you also have Billy Preston as well. So yeah, a lot of stars on this album. It was a relative commercial success. It reached number 7 in the UK and number 2 in America. So now onto the vinyl here. This is the vinyl, as you probably guessed. It's like the cover, kind of Sgt. Pepper-esque, sort of Ringo Sgt. Pepper. Features sort of drawings here of a lot of people here. I don't know if you make it out there, but there's George Harrison there, and then Paul and Linda, and then that was John and Yoko there. So and then there's probably loads of other people on it as well, but those are the ones. Those are the most notable ones. There's the back cover there, very simple design, or the songs and who plays what of them. There, and the gatefold. Nice gatefold there, just stars and that. Yeah, not too much, but you do get really nice booklet here as well, which I think would have been stapled in here, but my copy's obviously just come apart. The actual book itself is very good. It's really good when they do put in extra stuff like this, so you get all the lyrics here, and then also illustrations to go with each of the songs by Klaus Voormann. So not only did he play bass, but he also drew all these drawings as well. So that's pretty good there, just to sort of look through. Something extra really, just rather than a sort of normal vinyl really. It just sort of adds something to the whole package. Then you get, this is the sleeve here. Not sure if this is the original one or if the original was a bit more fancy, but it's just plain white EMI standard sleeve. And then the label's really good though. I like the label there of just Ringo in the shape of a star, sort of in cellophane or foil or whatever. I do also to note is the green writing as well, which I've not seen on an Apple record before. The green writing, most time I think it's black, so that's new. I mean I've not seen that before. Also, I don't think this is a first pressing. I mean it could be, but on the first pressings it lists the second track as saying "Hold On" rather than the correct title of "Have You Seen My Baby." Not sure if that was only in America though, but this is British as far as I believe, so the British ones might have had the correct title. Anyway, onto all of the tracks. So the first one is "I'm the Greatest." It's called. This one was written by John Lennon, and features him on piano and harmony vocal, and also George Harrison on guitar. So this song here was very much the closest the Beatles ever came to performing. McCartney's not on it though. possibly because he was having sort of issues with his drugs and that, like in Britain, he was convicted, I think, in like 1972 for possessing cannabis like on his farm. So that would have like made it difficult for him to get like into like America, where like John Lennon was based and Ringo was based. But I think that if he didn't have those drug problems, I would have liked to have thought they might have got back together, but it wasn't to be. So, but as for the song, I'm Great, it's a pretty good track, good opener track, but for me, it's maybe like a little self-indulgent, maybe saying I'm the greatest, all that sort of idea. But from Ringo, it's okay. I think if John Lennon had sang it, it would have, people would be like a bit like, oh no, a bit sort of self-centered really. But when it's Ringo, it can be taken like as a joke, because most people would be aware that he wasn't the greatest Beatle. I'm sounding like horrible here, but you know what I mean, right? Then we get the second track is "Have You Seen My Baby," which is the song was originally done by Randy Newman. Fantastic song, love the guitar in it, courtesy of Mark Bolan. Just a fantastic song. And then we get the best track on the album, in my opinion, is "Photograph." This one here was co-wrote by Ringo and George Harrison. Absolutely fantastic song. One of the best solo Beatles songs, in my opinion. I would put that like that top 10 solo Beatles tracks. That song would most likely feature somewhere in like the list. Fantastic song. It was a huge hit for Ringo. Sold over 1 million copies in America. Just a fantastic track. Wonderful lyrics, wonderful tune, just brilliant. Also, Dad, he sings it as well at the concert for George, which was a sort of like a concert event what took place after George Harrison's death in 2001. Where Ringo sings a very touching version of it, kind of the meaning like of that song is like changed, but it's very good, fantastic song. Probably Ringo's best track, although you could probably say "It Don't Come Easy" is also very good as well. Those are the two I really like, but there are many more mostly on this album what I do also like, including the next one, which is called "Sunshine Life for Me," in brackets "Sail Away Raymond." This is a George Harrison song, and is really good actually. Sort of a country style song, another solid track. Then we get the final one on side one is "You're 16." This one was originally done by someone called Johnny Brunette. It reached Ringo's version reached number 4 in the UK and number 1 in America. So yes, another big hit for Ringo, like after "Photograph." Paul McCartney plays kazoo on this song as well. To add, it says Paul McCartney Bavsats, because I think Ringo would have went over to Abbey Road, I think, to do this, and that's where Paul made his contributions to the album. For me, it's not a favourite of mine. I think it's a rather mediocre song, but it's still pretty good. So I'd say side one is very solid. Probably, it's as good as like anything Paul McCartney was putting out like at this time, or like rather on like Red Rose Speedway or John Lennon on Mind Games. Rather just saying that, like it's side one is very good. Then we get on to side two. Opens up with the track "Oh My My." This was another hit for Ringo, reached number 5 in America, which is really Ringo had 3 top 10 hits off this album, which is really like amazing considering that like Paul was struggling to get one. He got one off Red Rose Speedway, and then like Wildlife had no hits at all, and then also at this time he was having Mary Had a Little Lamb, Give Ireland Back to the Irish, which really aren't very good tracks. For me, 1972 was a weak time for Paul. Of course, like he then sort of came back and like did Band on the Run and that like I'm going like way off topic here, but like what I'm trying to say is that Ringo was the most commercially successful Beatle after the breakup. Now there's like something that he had like more top 10 singles than like John Lennon, George Harrison, Paul McCartney, like in the early years. And now, where does that take me? That takes me on to the next track, which is Step Lightly. This is the only song written solely by Ringo Starr on this album. For me, it's the weakest one on the album. It's much slower one to the songs, like on side one. Features, the only kind of like exciting thing is it features a tap dancing solo by Ringo Starr, which is interesting. I mean, but yeah, for me it's a weaker one. Then we get track 3 on side 2 is 6 O'Clock. Now this one here is a Paul McCartney written song, and does Paul do anything on it? Backing vocals, yeah, backing vocals by Paul and Linda McCartney, and the strings were arranged by Paul as well. Really nice ballad, I think. Another good track. Then we get Devil Woman, which is a one written by Ringo and someone else, I can't pronounce the name. Good rock which picks up the album, very nicely placed after 2 slower, more downbeat ones. This rocker picks up the album, but it's probably a weaker track. It really is like only helped by like its place on like the album. Like its sequence place like on the album, but yeah, for me it is a weaker track. Then the final one is also a weaker one as well. It's a song called You and Me Babe, and this one is credited to George Harrison and Mal Evans, who was the Beatles roadie. This for me it's a weaker one, kind of corny, very sort of show tune. And I'm not a big fan of show tunes, but I can kind of see what they were going for like on this album. Like it's supposed to sort of be a sort of closer to the album sort of thing. But I'm not suggesting that's a concept album. It's definitely not. But kind of you get like I'm the Great sort of opening up. The cover sort of ties in with the whole sort of show theme. And this one is it works as a closer, but it's not one what I would sort of listen to like again and again and again. But it does feature some really good guitar by George Harrison on it. So so George Harrison's best guitar, slide guitar on it, fantastic. And so that is the album done. And I must say though, there is a CD remaster, I think from 1991, which features a bonus track, It Don't Come Easy, which I think they should have put instead of say Devil Woman or Step Lightly, they should have put It Don't Come Easy on it. I mean I know it was a single in 1971, so 2 years before this album, but it really wouldn't have hurt to have put it like on the album, because it is such a great song. So overall, I would give this album a 8 out of 10. I think there are some fantastic tracks, namely Photograph and Have You Seen My Baby, Sunshine Light for Me, 6 O'Clock, some really good songs on it, and then like a few ones I'm not so keen on, and then a few sort of mediocre ones. So yeah, I'd say like an 8 out of 10 is pretty fair score for Ringo's Ringo album. So so I'll see you next time then. Subscribe, comment and like the video. Goodbye.